Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning. It's Randy. I just wanted to come on and say good morning. I hope everybody has some really fun plans for the weekend. And apparently that bird, I think it's a raven, wants to tell you good morning too. He's really loud. He didn't show up until I started the video. It's funny, I've been seeing them around here. A pair of them kind of squawking around the house here lately. I don't know. Sometimes we get a lot of them and sometimes we get a couple, but they're usually around a lot. So we're just having coffee this morning out on the front porch. I love it when the weather gets warmer and we get the fountain going and the breeze is blowing and it's not 95 degrees, which it is actually. It's supposed to be about 90 today, but right now it's not, thank goodness. It's still nice and shady and breezy. So excited that the hydrangeas are starting to bloom. These pretty big bloom right there. I don't know why the biggest blooms are always on the end. Isn't that funny? And then we've got some more back here. For a couple of years, they didn't bloom, and I'm not sure if they got too cold or what happened. One winter, we had a couple of rough winters, and that could have been it. I've got a camellia there. You can see the bloom fell off. This is the first year I planted that, and only had 3 blooms this year, and they've, gotten heavy and fallen off. So that was the last one that I had, and they're so pretty. I love camellias. I love that they bloom in the wintertime. Back there is another hydrangea that's trying to bloom out. That one struggles a little bit back there. I'm not sure why. Our dirt is not the greatest here. It's very acidic. If you can see, we have woods all around us here. We live on about 7 acres and it's all wooded. So that's the front of the house. That's the driveway. That's the side of the house. You can't see the back from here. But the soil is super acidic because of all the leaves that fall, even though we get them up. I think just the soil over time, plus we have clay here. We don't have that nice black soil that a lot of places do. So it's a little harder. We just haven't gotten in there and amended the soil like we should have. We just didn't want to pull up things, before. We really didn't realize it when we planted them, and so it's kind of hard to pull them back up, amend the soil, and put them back in. It's a lot of work. But this year, the hostas came so quickly. One day there was no hosta. The next day there was about 6 inches of hosta popping up, and then a couple days later, there were hosta with a vengeance. So they're so pretty. These were here when we moved here, and we've kept separating them. We've planted some grass to get some really pretty teeny tiny blue flowers on them, and it spreads. It's been spreading. We've got a little bit of ground cover in there trying to creep around the fountain, but I don't know if that's ever gonna fully fill in. It's really slow. This, I don't know if you can see it, that darker green leaf right there, that's a shade plant, and I planted that around the fountain. I got that at the same place that I got the fountain, which is at Southern States, and they said that it liked the shade, and it gets some really dainty yellow, bright yellow flowers on it. They're gorgeous. They just don't stay very long, and it's kind of the first thing to bloom flower-wise here in our little garden area. They're so sweet, but they're so delicate. If you just look at them wrong, they fall off. The fountain is really my favorite thing. I got it at, like I said, Southern States, and I'm guessing that, it's a Southern State thing. trying to, I have this landscape, so, you know, when you upload it to YouTube, it doesn't do the portrait thing and gets on everybody's nerves, and you can't see very much. It's like I can't get it right. I'm sorry. That's a little better. It's 3 leaves, and they cascade into each other into this little basin, and that little basin came with it, and my husband found this bigger kidney-shaped basin and brought it home, and he hasn't put it in yet, so we're hoping to maybe get that in this year. I don't know. We've got our mulch down and everything else, so it might be the fall. But this is kind of what we do on Saturday morning when it's nice. We come out here and sit and chit-chat and talk about what our day is going to be, what we need to do, if we're going to go estate sailing. If we are, we kind of map out our plan, have our coffee. It's just so peaceful out here, I guess is the right word for it. We put these stones in here, and the moss has crept into there. I've put a couple pieces, or put as much as I could in there without destroying the yard. Our whole yard is moss. There's really not a whole lot of grass. There's some over there. It's really more weeds because we want the moss to take over. It's so beautiful. It's green all winter long. It's just gorgeous. We've got several kinds of moss. We've got like the moss that you see here. It's kind of flat, and then we have some that's fluffy, and then we have some that's bumpy. I mean, it's just amazing how many kinds of moss is in this yard. Over here, the hosta are really, really big. I think the dirt over here is a little bit better. Hopefully the light will, it's a little dark when I turn the camera over that way. Anyway, we keep spreading these, you know, separating them and spreading them, and then they keep just getting bigger and bigger every year. They're really, really pretty. Okay, there's the light's a little bit better there. Just the regular variegated hosta that everybody has. We've got a butterfly tree right there on the right above the little gazing ball, and then one to the left of the path. They're actually kind of invasive and aggressive, and so I have to keep pulling up the little, I'm not sure what you call it. They root underground very quickly, and so it's like little arms and legs that come out, and they go really far, and so they have little offshoots from that. And so they just pop up all over the place. So I will pluck them. And some of them I've planted in the woods. Like, I've got one growing there. That's just an elm, I think. I don't know my trees, so don't laugh at me. I know the ones that the acorns fall off are the oak trees. And the ones that the sticky balls fall off of are annoying. And I call them the sticky ball tree. There's Ella. She's out here playing with us. She likes to chase the bugs. She's so cute. She bolts out like a bullet in the morning so she can go chase bugs. So, let's see. I'll show you Oreo. He's chilling on the porch with us. Lily's inside. She was a bad girl. The neighbor's dog ran up, and she's older, but she still likes boy dogs, and so she went to check him out, and almost didn't want to come back, so I had to put her inside, which I hate because it's such a nice morning. But I just want to come on, say happy Saturday to you guys, and share with you my morning coffee routine in the summertime when it's nice, and share the peacefulness of my fountain. And hope you guys have a really good weekend. I'm going to leave the fountain running for just a bit for you to enjoy without my talking. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend.